It was one of the biggest exhibitions of the year. It wasn't the Fabergé egg, which is a famous egg in its own right. But it was related to the Fabergé egg. It was a riff on the Fabergé egg. Well, the Fabergé eggs, I should say. It's more than one.
What
Yeah.
are Fabergé?
It's an egg. It really is an egg. But it's been decorated with such elaborate decoration as you wouldn't hardly even believe. Paint, gemstones, and gold and silver. And not just bling either. We'll get there. Done up using these precious materials into these just beautiful, beautiful decorations. So the Fabergé eggs, those were done in a very sort of, I don't know, classical style. But this was a different one. This was a newer one. It had been made in the 1990s, inspired by the techniques of the Fabergé egg. This one, however, was a landscape. It was done with emeralds and garnets and rubies and sapphires. And it was a beautiful scene of a beach wrapping around the egg. And it's covered in all these precious stones and gold and silver. And there's even some palladium in there, just to kind of up the ante even further.
What's palladium?
It's another precious metal. It's actually reactive as opposed to being, well, not reactive, but it catalyzes things. Anyway, this thing was supposed to be awesome. The museum that was having it had done a good job of it, described it, but there weren't very many photos, especially not good photos. So it was like if you wanted to see it, you really had to go. And they had some photos of it that were kind of far away or small. And so Ollie was excited. He wanted to see this thing. He thought the Fabergé eggs were pretty neat. I think they have one or two down at the Walters, actually.
Wow, that is so close.
Yeah.
I want to see them. They even have some. One time they even had mummies,
Yeah.
real live mummies.
Yeah. I think they have a...
They're not real living
Well, yeah.
mummies. That's just in stone movies.
Stop, Elsa. Stop now. Okay. But yes, they do have mummies there. I think they still have one there, like all the time. Anyway, so I got a ticket for the show, the exhibition. It was like a timed ticket kind of a thing. And of course, Ollie's a friend of the museum. So they said, well, we definitely will honor your timed ticket, but if you want, we're doing an opening celebration. I said, oh, I always love those. I said, yeah, you should come. Here, we'll send you an invitation. Stop, Elsa. And so it was the night before Ollie's timed ticket. It was a small opening. It wasn't like this big gala event thing. Stop it, Elsa. Stop it right now. Stop it, I said. I mean, stop. Doesn't mean do something slightly different. It means stop. And so Ollie, got dressed up a little bit, put on our bow tie, and he went out to the thing, and it was good. It was going to be dinner and drinks, and in a kind of a cheeky note, they were going to have deviled eggs be like the star of the show, culinary-wise. They'd heard about the deviled egg pageant, and they got some of those people to do up eggs. There's other food too, but that was kind of, the star. And it was a fun party, there was interesting people there, and it wasn't a huge party, because the huge parties can be fun sometimes too, but smaller parties, you really get to talk to some people, and if And if you do a guest list just right, you've got just all interesting people in the room. It can be a lot of fun. And that's what this one was. And so they're all chatting, eating the deviled eggs and the other food. Some wine, some beer, and some cocktails. And then the MC says, "All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's declare this exhibit open." And he pulled a red cloth off of a square, rectangular box that everyone had figured. Well, everyone basically had figured out that that's where the egg was, the nouveau Fabergé egg, and they whipped it off, and oh, it was gorgeous. The gems, they sparkled in the light, but at the same time, even with the sparkling, the scene that it depicted at this beach at sunset, you could tell exactly what it was right away. I began to wonder, like, oh man, how did they get all the different colors just with gemstones? They must have spent so much time, picking out the right gemstones. And then, while he was thinking about that, the curator gave out a loud gasp. What in the world? And everyone's like, what happened? What happened? Someone's taken a bite out of it. Everyone rushed around to the back to see, and indeed, along the back side, at least the side opposite from where they were, this big chunk wasn't missing. It was there on the table, sort of next to and underneath the egg. He said, "Everyone, I'm so sorry. We're going to have to. The evening has to end. We need to get the police in here right away." Well, I rushed up and said, hold on, don't let anybody go. There's almost certainly someone here. I said, "You're right. My goodness, you're right. Everyone, please stay put. Please stay right here." You got it. The security guards. Okay, everyone, I need you to lock all the doors. And do call the police. Everyone was worked up, bothered. Who among them would take a bite out of the nouveau Fabergé egg? What a horrible thing to have happen. It was a matter of some curiosity because Ollie, like a lot of people, had wondered what was inside. Probably not a hard-boiled egg, because that would get gross after a while. Was it completely hollow?
You.
Shh, don't do that. Probably, but he wondered if, a blown-out egg would be strong enough to, persist. You wouldn't want to go through all that effort if one that could break easily. And so they learned that inside it was a blown-out egg, not a chicken egg, but a bigger egg. Not quite as big of an ostrich, maybe like an emu.
What's an emu?
It's another large bird. And inside it was plaster. And you could see from the hole there was now. They'd basically cracked through the shell, but they hadn't cracked through the plaster because it's hard to bite through plaster, right? Now the curator had gone out and called Ollie over, knowing that Ollie was a private eye. So Ollie was taking a close look, taking some photos, had out a magnifying glass, and that's when he noticed something. So there's some, on that piece of shell right there, there's blood. I started to look around and I noticed actually there's some more blood on the table, a little bit on the side of the table going down, and on the ground around there. I started to think quick. Of course, it makes sense. Whoever took this bite probably would have bit down pretty hard. They would hit not only the hardness of the gemstones and the hardness of the emu egg, but then they would have been met with plaster. I bet whoever our secret eater is, they're hiding a bloody mouth right now. Maybe even broken teeth. So the staff began to... The curator thought quick. He had the staff separate all the guests, and there weren't that many guests. It's like 15 people. Separate them into 5 small groups. He'd called in some extra staff from other parts of the museum, so they had plenty of people. And they had everyone open their mouth. They got flashlights. They're looking all around. None of the guests had any blood in their mouth or broken teeth or anything. Well, so we'll see. So then, the security guards check each other. And there's nothing. They even checked Ollie. And Ollie doesn't have any teeth. Not in the same way. So, it wasn't him. They checked the curator guy. They were stumped. What on earth? Who could it have been? And why? The crowd was all bothered. Some of them had started drinking more. Some of them had stopped drinking. Nobody felt like eating the deviled eggs. And that's when I thought of something. Wait a second. There was somebody else. The tech guy. Where'd he go? I said, he should still be downstairs. Called to the head of security. Bring up Phil. Bring him right now. Don't let him argue. The security guy got to the elevator. A few minutes later, he came back up with this guy, Phil. Said, "What's going on here? What's wrong? What happened?" I said, "Someone did something very irresponsible with this egg." "I don't know what you're talking about." "Why are you speaking like that, Phil?" the curator asked. "I'm speaking fine. I don't know what you mean. I'm just tired. It's been a long day." I said, "Phil?" I said, "What? What do you want?" "Man, I'm supposed to be off. I was just finishing up a few paperwork things." I said, "Phil, you don't normally mumble. Why are you mumbling?" "I'm just tired. I said I'm just tired. Don't worry about it. Dude, what? I don't know. Look, I just did lights and sound and stuff, man. I don't... You know me, I'm not that into the art stuff. It's just a job." "Phil, I'm going to need you to open up your mouth." I said, "What? No, what is this? Man, I've had enough. I quit. I'm leaving right now." Guards won't let him go. "Phil, open up your mouth, or the guards are going to open your mouth for you." I said, "No, you can't make me do this." Guards. The guards grabbed him by the jaw, pulled his mouth open, and when they did, they saw three actually, broken teeth. The two top teeth in the center and one in the bottom. And the teeth were all stained and filled with blood. I said, "Phil, why? Why would you do this? Didn't we pay you enough? You could have had the regular eggs if you were hungry. Phil, why did you do this? You know how much damage you've done here?" I had to know. I had to know. I had to know what was inside. When I was doing the installation, I could tell that it was full. That it wasn't hollow like an Easter egg. But I figured that it couldn't possibly be that they just left the egg yolk in there or cooked it, because that would go bad. I had to know. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. Carter said, "Phil, sorry is not good enough. You took a bite out of a priceless work of art. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to repair this. You're fired, but the police will be here in a few minutes." Phil sat down in a chair with a heavy thud. He said, "You're right. I deserve whatever they give me." Ollie had gone back over. He said, "You know, the break is pretty clean. It looked draggy, but now that I look here, that piece there, that's a chunk of his tooth. I bet a skilled sculpture restoration person could put all these pieces back together. Phil, did you swallow anything? No. I took one bite and it broke my teeth, and that was it. And I left. I was too embarrassed. It hurt too much. But the piece fell out, and it was hard, and it was dumb. It was very dumb. The curator said, yes, Phil. It's extremely dumb, and you're going to go to jail for it. But Ollie, what were you saying? I said, well, the break is clean. I think. I don't want to touch it, but I think you can fix it. It won't be perfect. You're still probably going to get an angry, angry phone call from the person that actually owns the piece, but, now it's got a little bit more of a story to it, I guess. The curator laughed. Said, well, I guess that's true.
Well, maybe I was awake,
I think they'll be able to fix it, yeah.
Can you do the other part? Is Ollie gonna ask him if he's okay? Can you do the other part to see if they can?
Sure. Well, they decided to go ahead and have the rest of the party anyway. Once the cops came and took Phil away, they said, well, we're here. We have all these eggs that you are supposed to eat. Those aren't going to keep. We've got this beer and wine. We've got a room full of interesting people. Let's carry on. Might as well have a story to tell.
Did Ollie ask?
No, didn't ask if the guy was okay.
Why?
It's not like they had broken teeth and mouthful of blood. He wasn't okay, and that he had to go to the hospital and get his teeth fixed, but he was okay, and that he was, going to survive. About a week later, Ollie got a call from the curator. He said, Ollie, I wanted to let you know, we got the best sculpture person I could think of. Actually, someone who had worked on some similar art. And it's going to work. They've got it mostly fixed. They need to do a little bit of painting, and they needed to reset some of the gems, but they reset the gems in a way that it covers up almost all the cracks. You can barely tell. So, but you're still going to have to tell the owner. It's like, oh, yeah, no, we told the owner. He was mad, but, we have insurance, and they have insurance for not exactly this kind of a thing, but I guess this kind of a thing. So, the exhibit's going to go on. Your time ticket is still good if you want it, Ollie. I said, I do. I wanted to see what, your docents wrote up about the history of this thing, and now I'm curious to see if you're going to talk about this new piece of history. I said, it's going to get on there. It's not going to be ready for tonight, but, yeah, we'll add that story to the story of this very unusual egg. And that was the story of Ollie and the egg with the bite out of it.